Environmental chemistry. This is a very important topic to be actually taken in chemistry. The reason being, these are the chemicals which actually we uses in our day-to-day life, but that causes some harmful effects on not only on ourselves but also on the plants and animals. Now, those harmful effects is basically called as the environmental pollution. So, environmental pollution is the effect of the undesirable substances which are there in our surroundings that has a harmful effect on plants, animals, and on human beings. These chemical substances which causes this environmental pollution are called pollutants. Now, these pollutants can be solids, they can be liquids, or they can be gaseous. Like solid pollutants are the solid waste material which we actually throw normally in our surroundings. The liquid pollutants includes maybe the acid rains or the other chemical substances which we use industrially and usually are thrown away along or just drain out in the streams. And the gaseous pollutants are the ones which are actually being thrown out into the atmosphere by our vehicles and by the burning of the coal and by other industrial uses. So they all together makes our life very, very miserable. They have very harmful effects on not only on human beings but on their survival also, because as not directly affecting, they indirectly affects the plants and the animals, which indirectly makes our life more and more miserable. Nowadays, the biggest problem the biggest challenge the human civilization is facing is basically to deal with this environmental pollution, because this is making our life more and more tough. This is not only making us medically sick, we are getting more and more different types of problems which are very, very important to be taken care. That is why this topic is to be taken care here only, so that we all are aware that how the chemicals which we are using are creating a lot of different types of problems and the pollution to us. The environmental pollution is studied in 3 stages. This is studied like it can be the atmospheric pollution. So it can be atmospheric pollution, which deals with the pollution which we have in the air. Then there can be water pollution, and then we have soil pollution. Normally in chemistry we do the study of these 3 types of pollution, because these are the ones which actually gets kind of affected because of the chemicals. We have other types of pollution like noise pollution, etc., but that are mainly caused by the chemicals. So we mainly deal with these 3 types of pollution, and let us start our studies with the atmospheric pollution first. Let us see the atmospheric pollution. See, atmosphere is basically the layer of air that surrounds the earth. It goes up to many kilometers above from the surface of the earth to the above, and basically it has different layers of air that surrounds the earth. We divide the layers of these earths into different zones. The first zone we have is called troposphere. Troposphere is the layer of the air that goes up to approximately 10 kilometers of height, and above this 10 kilometer we have stratosphere, which goes up to from 10 kilometers to about 50 kilometers. Now these are the 2 major layers where we deal with, because these are the 2 ones which basically contributes towards the atmospheric pollution. The troposphere is the layer actually which is most turbulent, which is having all dusty clouds and smoke and dust particles, along with oxygen, nitrogen, other gases, and water vapors. Whereas stratosphere comparatively is much quieter, is having nitrogen, oxygen, and water vapors. Now you need to understand that the stratosphere is the one which is having the ozone layer, due to which almost 99.9% or 99.5% of the harmful ultraviolet radiations are being actually reflected back to the outer space. Otherwise, if they enter, they cause a lot of harmful effects. So this is how we have the division of the atmospheric pollutions, and therefore we study atmospheric pollution in 2 stages: tropospheric pollution and stratospheric pollution. So let us start first the tropospheric pollution. The tropospheric pollution mainly takes place because of the presence of the undesirable solid and gaseous substances in this layer of the earth, in this layer of the atmosphere around the earth. That is why this pollution is mainly the chemical substances which causes this type of pollution which are called pollutants are divided into two major categories. The two major categories are gaseous air pollutants, and we have particulate pollutants. Now, gaseous air pollutants will include the gaseous substances which are there around in this the tropospheric layer. That includes the oxides of nitrogen, sulfur, and other gases, which actually combines with oxygen, gets oxidized to their higher oxidation states, and along with the water they come down in the form of acid rains, and otherwise they also itself are causing a lot of irritations, nasal congestions and other kind of problems. It reduces visibility, causes formation of smog, etc. And particulate pollutants includes mainly the solid particles which are there, like dust particles, pollens, and other sort of things which are there. So let us study these one by one. Let us first study the gaseous air pollutants, and that I told you includes mainly the oxides, the sulfurs, and the nitrogen, and the other hydrocarbons which are mainly given out by the burning of the fossil fuels in our vehicles. First, let us see in this is the oxides of sulfur. The oxides of sulfur are actually being thrown out or given out whenever the burning of the fossil fuels, the petrol, the diesel takes place in our vehicles, and they mainly includes the sulfur dioxide, which also combines with oxygen in air and gets converted into sulfur trioxide also. This oxidation of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide also takes place is done by ozone, which gives SO3 and O2, as well as by hydrogen peroxide, which results in the formation of H2SO4. So this is what we have, the oxides of sulfur. These oxides of sulfur not only causes irritation of eyes, nasal problem, congestion, problems to asthmatic and bronchial problems. It reduces visibility, causes formation of smog, and combines with water vapors and comes out in the form of acid rain also. So this is what we have, the major concern, the oxides of sulfur which are given out by the burning of mainly the fossil fuels. In tropospheric pollution, we also have the oxides of nitrogen. See, we know that 78% of the air is nitrogen. So whenever the combustion of the fuel is taking place, nitrogen also gets oxidized and gets converted into what? It combines with oxygen and gets converted into nitric oxide. Also, what happens is in the upper part of the atmosphere, what happens is due to lightning, nitrogen is there. It combines with oxygen and the formation of nitric oxide takes place. This nitric oxide easily gets oxidized with oxygen to form NO2, whereas this process also is being done by ozone, and it results in the formation of NO2 and O2. We need to know this, need to realize this, that more the number of the oxides of nitrogen and sulfur we are having in the atmosphere, that leads to more depletion of the ozone, because they are actually combining with ozone and leading to what decrease in its amount in the upper atmosphere, in the air. So that is how somewhere these nitrogen oxides are formed, and they again causes the same irritation of eyes, nasal congestion, bronchial and asthmatic problems, reduces visibility and formation of smog. Along with this, they combines with water vapor and comes out in the form of acid rain. So this is what we have, the oxides of nitrogen. Now along with this, we also have the hydrocarbons. See, these are the unburnt hydrocarbons which we have actually being thrown out by the burning of the fossil fuels into the atmosphere. And these hydrocarbons, they also again are the ones which causes a lot of problems. They are carcinogenic, mainly carcinogenic in nature, and they causes a lot of breathing and asthmatic and bronchial problems. So these are these are the compounds actually of the carbon and hydrogen which are actually being thrown out into the atmosphere by the incomplete or almost what we can say incomplete combustion of the fossil fuels.